Welcome to the Pack Shack. This is Pack or Bust, where we try and get our money's worth from the packs or the boxes that we're opening up. Today, we have Bloomburrow Play Booster Edition. So, the goal is to take today's current pricing of a box and see if we get more money or less money or we break even. So, we're going to go ahead and open this up. I'm Andrew, your host. This is the first YouTube video we are posting with our face. I hope you guys like my beard. I really do. So, what do you guys think about the set? I think the set's pretty decent. Pretty decent. That. Strange how one of these looks a little bit higher than the other, but yeah, so basically what our goal is to get enough money back from the set while still getting the cards we want. So the wife and I, we typically go and get cards from our LGS. Ooh, Bushy Bodyguard, Dire Downdraft, right? Forest Shiny, Scrap Shooter, Rare, Fireglass Mentor, Mudflap, Shoreline, Stargaze, Rabbit Response, kind of cute. Steam Path Charger, Head of the Homestead Treetop. So we are going to pretty much cycle through all these cards as quickly as possible because I know that these videos can get long. And then we're going to set those off to the side. And then we will review our rares at the end. Our rares are mythics. Anything that looks like it might be of value. We're going to go ahead and throw our packs on the bottom. Fountain Bell, Osteomancer, Adapt. All right. Gossip's Talent, Flowerfoot, Harnesser, Patchwork, Bellowing Criers, Spark. But yeah, so what do you guys think about the set? So far, I think from what I'm hearing, the set is pretty fun to play. Like I was saying, the wife and I will usually go and get a box from, or not a box, but a couple of pre-release packs from Amelia. She's a Squirrel Warlock. Okay. Heirloom. But we'll go to the LGS, grab couple of pre-release packs or pre-release boxes, and we'll open them up. If we have time, we'll actually do the pre-release. Usually we'll get 2 pre-release boxes, Rush Shield and Pager. See, these are those new tokens with the populate the basically you can pay extra and get a 1/1 copy token of the creature. I forget what the mechanics, but yeah, Wicked World in Mine, Wicked World in Mine, and another rat you can throw under the battlefield. Create a 1/1 black snail creature token. If you don't control a snail, otherwise put a 1/1 counter on a snail you control. That's interesting. But yeah, we'll get the pre-release packs. We'll try and do the pre-release if we have time. And then we'll get a couple of collector boosters, open those up. You know, support the LGS. We typically try and get a decent size of packs. So this time we got 3 boxes of Bloomburrow, 2 collectors. Ooh, the bear, the elemental bear. And then we go ahead and open them up for our own pleasure. Any extras that we have, we will typically uh, try and sell, try and recoup some of the costs that we spent on our goodies. But but yeah, so oh, Yarg, Yeager, Weiger, Weiger, Eater of all. This is an interesting one. It's basically the one that other creatures are food artifacts with the typical food sacrifice, pay 2, and gain 3 life. And whenever food is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, put 2/1/1 counters on this bad boy. That's an interesting one. There's a lot of destroy all artifact in red, destroy artifacts in pretty much all the colors, but red's pretty proficient in it. I think there's some colorless spells that allow you to do that. So you could potentially get a lot of 1/1 counters in just one turn, especially if people are playing token decks. And then, yeah, swing in for a hefty hit. Tender Wild Guide, Offspring. That's the mechanic. Pay 2. You may put pay an additional 2 to know when you cast a spell. If you do create a creature token that's a copy of Tender Wild Guide, that is a 1/1 copy. Basically, add 1 mana of any color when you tap it, or you can put a 1/1 counter on the creature. So, pretty interesting cards. A lot of tribal cards that needed some help. Specifically, I mean, rats have been around for a while. Speaking of a while, the wife and I have only been playing for about 2.5 years, 3 years. We started back when Brothers War was coming out. Dream do Entrancer. Reach when Dream do Entrancer enters the battlefield. Oh, enter. But now it's sword enters, tap up to 1 target creature, and if put 3 stun counters on it. If you control that creature, you may draw cards. Seems interesting. Full shenanigans in blue green, tapping creatures. But yeah, we ended up getting Maha from our pre-release. That bird, let me tell you, is going to be ratchet. A lot of people were pretty excited about it from what I could tell based on YouTube videos and Reddit posts and talking to friends. Paw Patch Recruiter, Offspring 2, Trample. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell or ability, an opponent controls, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Other than that, a by-way barterer, Manache. Whenever you expend 4, which is basically you spend 4 mana, you may discard your hand, and if you do, draw 2 cards. So that could be good in a mono red deck. Mono red always likes drawing a lot of cards, man. I've got a Neheb deck. They are getting ready to nerf Neheb. I was very upset. Spent a lot of money on that deck. It was the first deck that I actually built. So ended up decking it out, pun intended, from head to toe. Got some expensive cards in there. Wheel of Fortune was the first commander that I actually played, and the wife and I, we predominantly play commander. So Alania, Divergent Storm, and we haven't got any of the planeswalkers yet. We actually got a Ral in our pre-release box or our collector pack. So, but yeah, got rammed by, I don't know how many of you guys actually play Arena, but I ended up getting rammed by the infamous Cruel Claw. Hopefully we pull her out. You'll see her. Belly Flame Caller, Lizard Warlock. If a lizard, mouse, otter, or raccoon you control would deal damage to a permanent or a player, it deals that much damage plus one. Red always likes the +1/+2 shenanigans element. Elk. I was told that this was a pretty decent card in limited or pre-release. So glad we got it, but it's nothing too special, nothing too crazy. But yeah, I was playing Arena, playing Gish Daddy. I like Dinos. That's another deck that I fully decked out. Mura, Trash Tactician. She's got the expend 4. You gain 3 life, so basically every time you spend 4 mana, your 4th total mana, cast spells during a turn, you gain 3 life. And then it's got to expend 8, so basically 8 mana. You get to exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of the turn. Until the end of your next turn, you may cast cards. Which, starting out when I first started, when a card would say that you could cast the card, it was kind of confusing because you're trying to learn about the stack, you're trying to learn about how mana operates, and some cards allow you to play cards for free, like Cascade, and the new mechanic from Caverns of Ixalan. Full frame. Wick, the World Mind. World Mind. Interesting. Rat Warlock. Oh, that's a snail guy. We already got him. But yeah, I would say you could cast. I would try and cast things for free, basically, because it said I could cast it. and and my buddy would have to constantly remind me. But yeah, the infamous cruel claw is a red black commander playing brawl in arena, but it's a red black raccoon that lunar convocation. We weren't very good at English. We speak pretty well in person, but when we're trying to read cards or trying to read in general, very slow. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained 1 life this turn, gained life this turn, not 1 life. Gained life this turn, each opponent loses life. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained or lost life this turn, create a 1/1 black bat creature token with flying. Pay 1 in a black and pay 2 life. Draw a card. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, so cool call. It allows you to exile, like when you deal damage to an opponent, it allows you to exile cards from your deck until you exile a non-land card. So in Arena, you can play Brawl, which is kind of similar to Commander. For those of you who like Commander and want to test out decks and stuff. Hearthborn Battler, haste. Whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, it deals 2 damage to that target opponent, or to a target opponent. But yeah, so Brawl in Arena is similar to Commander, because you can have a Commander and you can simulate a deck to the best of Arena's ability. MTG Online or MTG Go is MTGO is a little bit better for that because you get access to all the cards. Dower Port Mage. Whenever 1 or more other creatures you control leave the battlefield without dying, draw a card. So basically, when you're flashing, or not flashing, blinking stuff, and Gev Scaled Scorch, board pay 2 life. Other creatures control enter with an additional 1/1 counter on them for each opponent who lost life. Turn whenever you cast a lizard spell. This deals 1 damage to target. So I seen somebody trying to build that. Seems like it could get crazy real fast because it's only 2 mana. But yeah, in arena, playing playing against Cruel Call, I was playing my Gish Daddy deck, like dinos, and ended up being pretty on track with my lands. Ooh, Beacon, Green Shell, Creature Elemental Turtle. Reach as long as you control 10 or more lands, creatures you control get +2/+2. And when this card or another creature you control with toughness greater than its power enters the battlefield, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tap. Otherwise, put it in your hand. So that's seems like a pretty decent green card. Allows you to basically look at the top card of your deck when you play something that has like Defender or something higher toughness, which more cases than not, a lot of creatures do have higher toughness than they do power. So that could proc pretty rapidly. We'll see. We'll have to look it up, see how actually good it is. But yeah, Cruel Call, they ended up getting it out because like 3 or 4 mana, and they attacked me, and it's got Manache, so I couldn't defend and have any creatures out. Storm Chaser's Talent. These new classes are pretty decent, especially the green one. I think it was this one. Target you can deals damage. It's one that is better than that. It's probably the rare one. But yeah, they ended up ended up exiling cards until they exiled a non-land card, which happened to be I want to say it was Roaming Throne, but they named Eldrazi, which anybody that plays against Eldrazi is, it's pretty scary when people are naming Eldrazi to get double the effects. Oh, look at that. Shiny Gev. And then Cruel Call Heist. Cruel Call Heist. Nice. We're just talking about her. Lily Pad Village. That's one of those new cycles of lands. But basically ended up playing like a Roaming Throne, so it doubles the ETB effects of the named creatures. And then they attack me again because I can't play any creatures, so I didn't have any creatures, or I played a creature but it has Manache, so you can't block. And I'm in a dino deck, creature centric. And Salvation Swan flying in flash. One Salvation Swan or another bird you control enters exile up to one target creature you control without flying, returning to the battlefield under its owner's control with a flying counter on it at the beginning of the That's pretty decent. Whiskervale Forerunner. That's like our 3rd or 4th pack that we had 2. They actually reduced the amount of rares that you can get in these things. Watsy's always messing with and usually not any. But yeah, so they got Roaming Throne out. They ended up ended up pulling out a what's his name? Not Kozil. The one from MH3 that just came out. One of the 3 guys. Ulamog. So wham, Ulamog comes out. Freaking 2 ETB triggers, Fabled Passage. Let's go. 2 ETB triggers. Basically, it entered, exiled half my deck, and then exiled half my deck again. Which at this point, I probably had like 20 cards, so I knew scuba. Because once it like if you're in a creature centric deck, there's like nothing you can do to counter that. The only other potentially saving grace that would have occurred would be that those are the only two cards that they had there in their deck, and they could have I could have potentially removed it if I would have got like a farewell or something. And then when they exiled their deck again, that it would just like continuously exile. I don't know. But it seems like it could potentially be a very interesting commander. Thunder Trap Trainer Offspring 4. That's where you get to create a token copy of this by paying 4. And then whenever this creature enters, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them and put in your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of. So kind of a brainstorm. Not as good because it has to be non-creature, non on land. And if you're back on lands, at least like with brainstorm, you like draw three cards, look at them, you get to keep one and put the other two back in whatever order you want. I think that's how that one works. I don't play very much blue because I despise blue players. Yeah, that's right. I said it. I'm a red player though, so some people hate me too. Valley Flood Color. Flash, you may cast non-creature spells as though they had flash, so like sorcery, enchantment. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, bird, frog, otter, and rats you control get +1/+1 till the end of the turn untapped. But yeah, so 3-tree Scribe. We're looking for 3-tree Stebro. Like the only good card in this set. Nah, there's other good cards, but it's one of the few cards that a lot of people are actually excited about. Anyways, we're kind of getting shafted. I haven't followed this set too much, so I'm not sure which cards are actually good or not. We're gonna go ahead and go back and try and get pricing on everything. One of the new lands, Essence Chancellor, as long as you've lost life this turn, and Chancellor has flying and vigilance. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter. When it dies, put its 1/1 counters on target creature. That seems pretty much a whenever you spend 4 T-plus and 2 damage to the opponent, which could potentially be really good in a red deck. So it says whenever you expend 4. So expend 4 is as you cast your 4th total mana to cast spells this turn. So yeah, that wouldn't stack. It'd be nice if it was like every 4 mana. Then that would probably really, really go off on like a storm deck. Like that'd be freaking nuts. Because you're just constantly producing mana and casting stuff, and every 4 mana, so you cast 400. And say you use 400 mana. 400 mana is like 100 damage to one person's face. Well, it's 2 damage, right? And expend 4. So it would be expend 4 divided by 4 divided by 400 would be 100, and then 100 times 2. So basically, you can wipe like multiple tables. Osteomancer Adept, and then Fountain. We got one of those. There's a lot of interesting cards. I'm sad that we didn't get to do the pre-release, but it definitely seems like a fun set draft. Anyways, like there's a lot of cool mechanics in this set. They're not hard like murders and murders at Karlov Manor. Like, oh, here it is. Keeper's Talent. At the beginning of your combat, on your turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. I like that. For 2 mana, like that in a Hydra deck is freaking bonkers. And then permanents you control with counters on them have ward 1. Like, no brainer. That's good, especially for 1 mana. And then for 4, if you put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice that many counters. I mean, this would even potentially be pretty good in like an Atrax. So, because it's a creature you control, permanent control, yeah. So it's creature centric, which is good. But I mean, I think it'd be really awesome in a Hydra deck. Gargos is a really good Hydra commander. Basically, anytime your creatures become targeted, he basically fights, and he's like a 6/8 or 8/6, something like that, 8/8. But yeah, look up Gargos. Slightly older card, really fun to play. But yeah, there's a lot of cute cards in here, a lot of like nice colors. The art is really nice from what I've seen so far. There's a lot of furry stuff for the furry community. Just kidding, just kidding. No, but I mean, if you like animals, this is a great set. If you have somebody that likes animals but doesn't like Magic or never played Magic, it might be a set worth getting the commander decks to see if anybody Valley Rock Caller. When it attacks, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life or X number of other squirrels, bats, lizards. That would be really, really good in what's his name? He's in one of the commander decks. Blueprint squirrel that creates a bunch of squirrels. He's black green. Yeah, so a lot of good cards in here, a lot of really nice art. But a lot of people are upset that they feel like the cards are underpowered to a certain extent, or like the value of the cards versus the cost of the box or packs isn't. Mockingbird, nice. And then Balin the Haymaker. Oh, Haymaker. But a lot of people feel like the value is just not there in terms of like getting your money's worth. Um, a lot of it has to do with the fact that Modern Horizons 3 was just released, and that set was a freaking banger. Like a lot of really powerful cards, a lot of really expensive cards, and like really expensive. I'm talking like 15, 20, $50, stuff like that. Obviously, those prices will fluctuate, go up or down. But for the most part, Manifold Mouse. Offspring 2 at the beginning of your combat on your turn, target mouse you control gains a double strike. I don't know about that. But yeah, I mean, you're comparing Bloomburrow, which is a standard set, to Modern Horizons 3, which is a modern set. And Modern Horizons are traditionally supposed to shake up the format completely, like change things so that people are forced to rotate cards and, spend more money. Typical WotC stuff. Whereas Bloomburrow is a standard set. I mean, you can't have back to back bonkers sets. Although obviously would all welcome it. Oh, Phineas, Ace Archer. The wife wants to build this deck. Vigilance Reach. Whenever Phineas Ace Archer attacks, put a 1/1 counter on each other creature you control that is a token or a rabbit. Then if creatures you control have a total power of 10 or greater, draw a card. So that is seems like a pretty decent token and rabbit centric commander. Sorry about that. But it seems like it's going to be a fun card to play. And plus, it costs 2 mana. It's got this entire paragraph of text. Like, 2 mana. Like, Sheila's playing 2 mana commanders. She plays Sithis. Freaking wrecks the table a lot. Manifold Mouse. Nice. Your combat on your turn. Manifold gains your. That's that guy. We just seen him. Nice that we got the token. Thorn Vault Forager. Add a green, add 2 mana in any combination of color. If you forage, forage is where you exile 3 cards or sacrifice a food, and then search your library for a squirrel card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. That's good in a squirrel deck. Good on the squirrel deck. But yeah, so I mean, you can't compare apples to apples and apples and oranges. So, but like I said, the wife and I have been playing since Brothers of War. We've spent way too much money, but I stream occasionally. Video games. I play Call of Duty a lot, and that's pretty full. Nice land. Scavenger's talent. I think we've gotten pretty much all of the classes. Maybe we're missing one or two. No, we got the green one. I think we got the blue one. We just got the black one. So we might have. We'll go through them again right here at the end. We're down to our last 3 packs. But what's your guys' favorite mode? Like, what do you guys like playing? Standard, modern, Horizon, Pauper, Modern Horizon, Commander. Helga Skittish here. If I'm not mistaken, she was the like one of the main characters in the story. And Valley Quest Caller. We did not get a 3 rare pack yet. It's really annoying because these boxes, they cost so much more. WotC made it so that you're forced to buy these play boosters instead of draft boosters or set boosters, and then like give people the option of saving $20. And yet here they are saying that it's all going to be the same, and then it's not the same. Kind of annoying. I hate when people lie. I really hate when freaking companies lie. Whenever Ember Heart Challenger becomes the target of a spell or ability you control for the first time each turn, exile the top card of your library until the end of the turn. You may play that card. It's got prowess, which is a decent mechanic. It can get crazy really. But yeah, you guys excited about Duskmourn? That'll be the next set that we open up. We're probably gonna get a decent chunk of cards from there. We like opening up packs, and we intend on Season of Weaving. This is the one with the pause. Draw. You get 5 pause, and then you can use the pause however you want. So you can draw 5 cards. You can draw 1 card and choose 2 artifacts or creatures you control and create token copies of them, or you can create token copies of artifact creature, and then you return each non-land token permanent, non-token permanent to its owner's hand. That seems pretty decent. I think the best use for this would be something like the artifact or creature, making a token that's a copy of it. I think that'd be kind of busting some blue. But we did not get the infamous Tree City, unfortunately. But we've got a couple more boxes to open up. We got a couple collector packs or collector boxes that we want to open up. So basically, we're ready for Duskmourn, because Duskmourn seems like it's gonna have like a nostalgic 90s 80s movie. I always loved horror movies, so seems like it's gonna be pretty decent. They're gonna be bringing back Arch Enemy, which Arch Enemy is a lot of fun for like Commander players. If you've never played it, I would recommend it. Basically, it's like 1v4, 1v5, or 1v6. Basically, you get the big dick stuff, and then it's a lot of fun. The other game mode that we like to play is Treachery. If you've never played Treachery and you're big Commander player, check out Treachery. Again, we are Pack Shack. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that follow. Make sure you hit that share. And we'll catch you next time on the Pack Shack, where magic begins.